for yielding and for his leadership on this and so many issues. Mr. Speaker, Congress is on the verge of passing landmark credit card reform. This bill will make the lives of hardworking, responsible Americans better. It will make their economic futures more predictable and their families more secure. It will level the playing field and restore balance to credit card contracts. It will end what the Fed has characterized as anti-competitive, unfair, and deceptive practices. I am very proud of the work that went into this bill by so many people, especially Chairman Frank and Chairman Dodd. It will have a positive impact on everywhere and anyone in this country who uses a credit card. Over the past 3 years, as I have labored on this bill with my colleagues, the need to stop credit card industry abuses has become ever more apparent with every passing billing cycle. Today, our families are being hard hit in this economy, and some credit card companies are hurting our families by arbitrarily raising interest rates and changing the rules to increase their profits. This bill will put an end to these practices. Many small businesses rely on personal credit cards, but we are seeing increased numbers of small business owners hit with increased penalties and interest rates, and canceled credit for absolutely no reason, which is killing small businesses and hurting our economy. NFIB has endorsed this bill. With these reforms, consumers will have more money to invest in the economy instead of paying off debt. A study by the Joint Economic Committee found that these abusive practices are slowing our recovery by effectively raising prices for consumers. This bill is a reaffirmation of the principle of a deal is a deal and is the result of years of advocacy for this change by many of my colleagues, national consumer groups, civil rights organizations, labor unions, and business organizations. Americans want this bill. More than 50 editorial boards across this country have endorsed it. In this Congress, under the leadership of Speaker Pelosi, Majority Leader Hoyer, Subcommittee Chair Gutierrez, and Chair Frank, we passed it with an overwhelming bipartisan vote of 357 to 70. Just yesterday, the Senate passed it with a vote of 90 to 5 and maintained the core principles of the bill with many important additions. My only regret with the Senate's action is that they voted to include a completely unrelated provision allowing guns in our national parks, rolling back a rule that was put into place by President Reagan. It has absolutely no purpose on this bill and should be removed in a separate vote. And while I will vote against this provision later today, I do not think we should stop these important consumer protections for credit card holders. The President has asked us to send him this bill by Memorial Day. We have our chance to do that today. This is one credit card bill that the American people cannot afford to become past due. I urge a yes vote and yield back to the chairman.
Gentlelady yields back her time. Gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself 5 minutes.